Tonight it's Friday and we are going to be talking about a number of things. These are our little mascara barbs. Let's see how they do. They know it's about time for eating, so let's go ahead and give them something to eat. And 1, 2, 3. It doesn't take but a second for them to crowd around looking for the best morsels. What a set of fine-looking fish. Hello, Sideshow Cody V. John Morgan, welcome. Thank you for your chat. I do appreciate it. Everybody is on board. Skull Aquatics, Blue Water Aquariums, good evening. Yes, we are going to talk about a lot of things coming up. It's been a while because of certain situations. I don't know if you had known if I had mentioned this, but there was a family member in the hospital. He still is. And so the family's been very busy, super busy. And there hasn't been a lot of time to take a extra little evening out to do a live stream. So we'll have to catch up on some of those, eh? Yeah, these fish are looking good. They're working very healthy. They're very strong. They're all very eager to eat. They stay very closely knitted. I don't know if you remember, there was one that had a little nick on its tail. Maybe the members knew about that. And it's grown back. So that was, of course, due to the tiger barbs that were in here. I've since removed. Okay, they want to eat everything. I want to take some more here. We've got another group of these beautiful mascara barbs. These are larger. And there's a story behind these. We noticed the mascara barbs come onto a local ad, and that is for a local fish store. And they were offering them right here up the street. And I couldn't believe it. You know, after I went through so much trouble to find these fish, and they haven't been around for years, I'm going to throw a little bit in there and see what happens. Okay, boom. Ooh, wow. Hit it like a rocket. There they are. This is their quarantine tank. I have one black ram and the rest are all mascara barbs. Very nice looking at the moment. They just need to be conditioned. Sadly, when you get fish from the fish store, you know how it is. They have sunken bellies. They're not looking good. Hey, Shady Grady, Red Laser. Welcome, everyone. And that's always the case. So tonight, that was, I mean, not tonight, but when I picked these up, it was, I think, a Black Friday. I think it was a Black Friday special, yeah. Seems like it anyway. A couple weeks ago. These fish were not looking great. When they came over to my place, they were put into this tank, and the very next day, 2 of them were covered in ick. And so the problem is, what do you do when you get fish from the store? Well, first of all, you never put them in your community tank. You never put them with your breeders. You never do that. No, no, no. Clickbait. No, we're going to talk about that in essence. I'm going to mention to you what's going to happen in these next few weeks. We have this product here, IckX, which I've always used for the ick on the fish, and it's always worked miracles for me. And I used this immediately when these fish came in, and I could tell there was something wrong with them. There was 2 fish that were just covered in like this yucky film and spots everywhere. So this happens when they go through a stressful situation and they're carrying ick. They bring it into the tank. So first thing we did was raise the temperature and put the ick medicine in, but it didn't do a lot of good. And sadly, after 3 or 4 days, I did lose the one that was worse off. He was very sunken belly, and he was very, very badly covered, and he just didn't make it. He wasn't eating at all. Everybody else was devouring food, but not him. So the temperature, it's been a week of high temps, and we're going to lower it down. I can keep lowering it slowly, day by day, just been getting it down. This thing, I just click the button and rotate. I'm going to put it down to 80. There we go. So this tank is green at 80, it's 83 right now, so we'll let it cool down. These fish have been at very high temps for at least a week now. Chris Stubbs is in the house. Hello. So what we got here is the situation where I think that it's gone. It's been long enough to really tackle the problem, and they're looking great. So they're eating like little pigs, which they should. I could get this medicine to work, which it always works for me in the past. So we went with the stronger stuff. This is the stronger stuff called Microbe Lift. It is formulated with malachite green and formalin. This is really for ponds, but it really is strong stuff. Broad spectrum disease treatment, but look at the ingredients. And this is something I learned when studying this out. I don't know if you can notice it, but it says what's in it. Safest and most effective treatment for the control of diseases caused by ick, Costia, Trichodia, oh boy, some names I can't even mention. And it's pretty strong. Let me just to give you an idea of the directions of what you're supposed to use. This is 100 milliliters for 1,000 gallons. 100 milliliters for 1,000 gallons, 3.5 fluid ounces. So gives you an idea of how strong this is. It's very highly concentrated. So you definitely don't want to overdose on this stuff. So anyway, I started putting this in. I was putting, for this 40-gallon tank, this one was just under a teaspoon. But this medicine, if you look at the ingredients, is exactly the same ingredients, except the formalin or formaldehyde portion is not as strong. So for example, I'll show you. This one says it contains water, formaldehyde less than 5%, methanol, and malachite green. Okay. This one, the stronger stuff, again, is the ingredients are over here, and it says, I had it, here it is. Don't use with salt. They don't want you to use it with any other chemicals. But the ingredients are, how come I can't find the ingredients? There it is, right there on the second paragraph. No, that's just the 25%. Oh, I go through this every time trying to find these guys. Let's try this side. There it is. The bottom contains water, same thing, formaldehyde, less than 22%. So the other one was less than, I believe, 5%. This one less than 22%. And then of course the malachite green is the same, malachite green chloride. So they're exactly the same product, except this one has more formaldehyde in it. So this one was the one that finally did the trick, and it got rid of, in another day or 2 days of treatment, the fish were all cleared up. So that's a good sign, really good thing to have. And you have to really be careful about the medicines you use. Don't ever use the medications without following instructions to the T. I changed the water, a third of the water before each time I put more treatment in. They do say you can do it every 8 hours, and I was doing it every 8 hours for these fish because they were really bad, and I didn't want to lose any. We only lost one in total. And then, of course, the next step would be to, I will throw some deworming in there. Now, these are supposedly, let's see, these are supposedly wild caught that were sent to Singapore and then were shipped into Canada. These, on the other hand, are supposedly tank raised. And I don't know. You know, they're both beautiful fish, but we haven't seen anything yet. You're seeing the beginnings of a beautiful, beautiful thing. And we're going to see beautiful fish very soon when these get a little bit older. But I love the way they school together and they shoal back and forth. It's a sight to see. Got my tea here. I've got some pizza tonight. We're going to talk about what happened. What happened on Black Friday. By the way, this is a nice looking set of fish. They're coming right along. We've got some new fish over here. There's a batch of, there's supposed to be German blues in there. Not a big batch, but we got German blues there. And here's a big batch of German blues that have hatched. See them massing on there. They've all hatched. They're not free swimming. Here is a group of, these are silver, I think these are silver angels, platinums. And they're eating now. They just became free swimming. So what happened? Let's talk a minute. What happened was I have a mother who fell and broke her hip, and then after she broke her hip, she was on the mends. She was doing well, and then she fell again, broke the other hip. So my mom and dad are up there in the years, and they're in California. So I need to go see them. I was planning a trip to go see them. I've been putting it off till I had some vacation time. And then on Black Friday, it turns out that I was relieved of my job. So it was the end of that, and I don't work anymore at that location. So in other words, I'm free to take a longer vacation. So I'm going to go see my mom. So what do you do with a fish room when you're going to be gone for 4 weeks? That's a difficult one. And so I need to really shut it down. All the production has to be shut down. And some of the things you're going to need help, like for example, experienced help. So I've already begun the process of moving fish over to the grow out center for Aqua Malik to take care of it. A lot of the pairs I had up here will be moved over. And so many of these tanks may just be empty. And then of course I'll just have the community tanks, and maybe the barbs, of course, can be fed by my family who's going to still be here in the house. And they will not be fish people per se. So what do you do? Well, you and I both know that overfeeding can be a problem. So the most important thing is to put your food in such a way, or the instructions in such a way, that is foolproof, and they don't do more than just minimal amounts of food, because I'm not going to be changing water for 4 weeks. So minimal amount of food. That's how you do it. And not even every day. So like I'm right now taking care of somebody's fish, a friend's fish tank. I go by his house, and I only go by every 3 days, 2 or 3 days. I don't go by more often than that. 2 or 3 days is good enough. And he has a sump on his tank, so I'm just shocked actually about how much water evaporation there is on a sump system. And I have to make sure I'm there at least every 3 days, otherwise it's too low. So he must add a couple of liters of water every day. That's just to keep it up. I haven't noticed that amount of evaporation in my fish room. So everyone, that's what it's all about. Shutting down a fish room when you got to go on a long extended vacation. The good news is that while I'm in California, I hope to be doing some live streams at maybe some shops and things that I used to go to. And so if you know any of you are out there, and that would be kind of nice to be able to hit some places and see some fish. I will be in the Orange County area near Anaheim. Most people have heard of Anaheim, where Disneyland is. So I'm headed to Disneyland. Yay. And that's the goal, for just to survive the transition and come back. We'll come back in the 2024 very strong. We've been going over the numbers, and I'm sure that, you know, our fish business, aquarium.biz, is going to be strong in 2024, much stronger than it was this year because there were a lot of expenses. And we're doing quite well. Oddly enough, the biggest two... oh, really? Oh, you're the one that was Insanity. Oh yeah, are you the one that you were going to show up at the fish store that I went to? That's where I picked up the beautiful fish here. Let me show you the ones I got at the fish store. They call it the fish store, I think. Here he is, or she is. Beautiful fish. Really looking nice. Look at that male. There's a trio in here. Pistogramma. These are the red-shouldered gold. And there is a pair in this tank. Also quite outstanding. Brightly colored. And I'm going to be doing some resorting. So part of the shutdown process is basically simplifying. So these fish and this fish might be in their own tanks. Separate them. Some of these pairs, like I think the crebensis, have not done anything. I've just left them alone, and they're still back there in the hole. They hang out. Well, there they are, way in the back corner. See? Can't even see them because they come out when I throw food in, but I can't focus because of the algae. But those crebensis probably need a change of pace. Oh, look at the colors of that female. She's looking really nice. Fish family. Yeah, you know, I tried to find that place where you add your links to live streams. The Fish Fam link, I couldn't find it actually. I don't know what happened. This is interesting. Look at this black rams behind the curtain, as it were, behind the slate. Sometimes I go back there and lay eggs. When I see this, it's sort of like maybe they're getting a little busy doing their thing. They might have some eggs. I won't be leaving until the 19th, so I would have enough time to get these fish. If they did lay eggs, I would have time to get them free swimming before I left, and then they could always be taken care of. One more pair, if they don't have eggs. This pair will go over to the fish grow out. And let's see, over here, this pair is the parents to the German blues. They're not ready to lay eggs. They laid their eggs, I took them away, and they just kind of lost their color. So they went out of condition. So I'm going to put them back in the pool, and when they get ready to lay again, they'll be ready to lay. So, tanks like this one, there's not really much to do. I will do some water changes before I go, and then just have minimal feeding. There is a good number of fish in here, but we'll try to do minimal feeding. I will do a lot of cleaning. This obviously, this filter back there needs replacement. I just replace it with a brand new clean one. And I usually leave the other one, because there's two, and I leave that one in there. And then after the clean one gets a little dirty and has the micro fauna or bacteria going in it, then I can replace the other one. But I don't replace both of them at the same time. Always just one. I keep these guys under the blue light. They seem to do better. the low level lighting, because the tiger barbs, the red tiger barbs, are light sensitive, and the catfish don't like the light. So they're out and about everywhere when you don't have the light on, as you can see. So they're funner to watch. So much going on here, and they're very compatible. Nobody seems to bother anybody. Just haven't had any breeding from the Lucipinis lately, so we'll have to work on that. But probably after I get back. So that's the thing. We're going to try to do some little changes around in the room, make it simple. We're going to, I did pick up some new fish today, only because I'm really low on electric blue rams, and we need to pick up the production, so I got a few more from Big Al's. I'm going to open the bag now. They've been floating here for a couple hours. And this is their little quarantine tank. Okay, come on, out you go. Oh, what happened? There's no hole there? Oh, come on. This bag. She's caught in the folds. That could happen. I don't even see the hole. Come on. The first fish got out. How did this one not get out? Where's the hole? Oh, okay. It's got to be there somewhere. Okay. Is that stupid or what? Oh, that is so ridiculous. I usually use scissors. I think that's the way to go. Where's my scissors? I can't even do it. Is that not ridiculous? Oh. Oh, that was nice. She just swam out on her own. Or he, I don't know. I think they're males. Double check to make sure there's nothing in the bag. Both of them are in there. I only see one. I don't see any more. Oh. Yeah, I gotta fix that. The lid. Well, some things you don't really want to do live, I guess. And that is try some other method. I should have just clipped off the corner of the bag, as I always normally do, right? But yeah, these fish, you know, they're very sensitive. It's very easy to lose them, especially in transitioning. So rams are not to be taken for granted. If you want really nice rams, you need to treat them with gloves. Be very tender with them. And then what you need to do is, when you have fish and you want them to transition well, it's best to drip them, or make sure that you test the water, the pH, because you need the pH and the temperature to be the same. That's what's going to keep the fish from getting too bad. So, let me see. Another thing that is important is when you always quarantine. So that's a quarantine tank now. And then, of course, I will start the process of what I first use always when you're transporting fish is the quarantine specialty called Melifix. I use Melifix because any scrapes in the netting process, any any situation that comes up on their skin, a scrape or something, could lead to a bacterial infection or anything. So this is a natural, uses Melaleuca. It's a natural, smells like tea tree oil, and very safe, super safe for the fish. And the important thing is that the fish get this treatment when they first get moved, because you don't want anything to develop until they get their coating back on, and that might take a little bit. So I would just leave the fish alone, but I will also definitely deworm them, and using Prozzy. It's a very safe dewormer, or that's for any parasites really. And then an internal dewormer, I use levamisole, and that works super well. Make sure that the fish don't have any worms inside their intestines. So once they get this treatment and they looking good and they're eating well, and then after a month has gone by, at least maybe 2 months, then you can think, okay, now I can start mixing other fish with them. It's best to take another fish and put it with the fish first to see if there's anything that jumps out. Glad to hear about your GBR, Sandy, and welcome, Skitty Nona. Yeah, what happened to those? You had some eggs, I thought. Did you have eggs? Were there any? Was it a successful batch, or it didn't pan out? Remember what I told you? The first batch of a German blue pair usually isn't very good. The female sometimes lays tiny eggs. They're like preemie babies. They just don't come out really. It's like a teenage girl who's having a baby. It's not, their body is not really meant for it. So the first time, that's what happens in the fish world too. They're maybe too young really to produce in a proper way. Yeah. Oh, good. So they're in breeding color again. It didn't work out, but that's what I would figure. Like I said, and just be patient. They will come back around to it. And especially if the first time they won't. Sometimes the first batch of a German blue ram is just kind of smearing a few eggs, and they just have a couple of eggs. In other words, a small size batch, and they're not really, and they're just learning how to do it, and the body is not really functioning as great as it could, and that's what happens. So then after they've practiced once or twice, that's when you'll get large clutches of eggs, and large batch of fry following that. So believe me, more is coming. So yeah, always keep the slate in, because you never know when they're going to have a batch. I would change the slate if I don't like slates that are really super grimy and they get a lot of algae on it. I have a couple of them, and I don't have it right here to show, but I usually have a stack of those little slates and pot bottoms, and then I'll just swap them out. Fish don't even realize, but suddenly it's clean, and that's how it's suddenly clean. It's the fact that they get a fresh new one. Yeah, and then with the one you have out, you can even soak that in. If you have a strong solution of potassium permanganate, you can do that. Or you could use bleach. Just make sure if after you bleach it, kills everything, dry it out really completely, and we'll rinse it first, as best you can, but then also dry it out completely for a couple of days. All bleach will completely evaporate, and when it's safe to use when you can smell it and you smell no bleach. So, but bleach works super well for killing all bacteria and plant But just be careful. It's not something that you want to make an accident and say put it in with, you know, it's got too much bleach on it. And if it has residue on it or whatever, you would never just take it out of the bleach water and put it directly into your tank. That wouldn't be a good idea. But I safely use bleach all the time. In fact, I bought another bottle not too long ago, and I keep it handy. There is a couple of, I have a couple of tanks. I'm doing a war on string algae, and as you know, that's kind of difficult to do. But I have found that if I like this one here, this tank might get bleached. It's a little too problematic. Brown algae is no problem. The diatomic algae is simple. One little baby pleco and sister's pleco, and 24 hours later, all the brown algae is gone. They're easy to eat. But the string algae, no one touches it, and it just keeps growing out of hand, and the babies can get into it. I don't like that stuff. I don't know where it came from. So I've been slowly but surely eliminating it. Give you an example. I do have a tank that I just showed you a minute ago, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. This tank here has definitely an algae problem. I don't like this kind of algae. Now, green algae on the walls is easy to get rid of. I just haven't bothered messing with these fish. Oh, she came out. Look at that. She thinks she's going to get some food. There he is. I got to clean this tank, don't I? But I kept waiting for them to spawn, and they haven't. They just keep growing bigger, and they're full size now, but no spawns. But this is bad stuff. So everything in here is going to get the bleach. So once I take the pair out, this is just the kind of algae I don't want spreading from tank to tank. While I'm here, I wanted to mention, like, I have some barbs in here. I also have a bunch of very small red lizard plecos. Just a comment: if you have like young plecos, and those plecos, you want them to grow, don't put them with other fish. Put them in a tank of their own, and they'll thrive. They need to be able to get to the food. But when I see these fish, they're not getting enough food because there's too much competition in here. I throw the food in, and all these other fish just lap it up. They devour all the food, and the plecos are much slower eaters. And I could overfeed them, but then I have the problem with the barbs will eat too much food and they'll bloat. So it's sort of a non-win situation by mixing. If you're trying to grow out plecos, if they're adults, that's another story. They don't need so much, perhaps. So what we're going to do is we're going to move those plecos out of here. I like the red lizards in a bottom. There he goes. What is he looking at? Beautiful fish. These guys have really turned out nice. These are the ones I got in the States. The fish store. In that's the male, red-shouldered. Red-shouldered pisto. Now, in this tank, for example, this is more ideal. See, so this is a bare bottom tank, and these guys in here are going to get some good food. In fact, there was about 20 more in here. I took them out yesterday, and they're already over at the grow out center ready for sale. So, but they came out of this tank, and I'm not going to put anything for competition with them. That's the key. And I also moved over all the ones that were in this little tank, this little thing. We're going to set this up, and for the members, at some point this week, I'm going to demonstrate why I'm going to start using this for growing blackworms. So we're going to give that a try. Thanks to Greg Jones and his ideas, I learned a lot on how to grow blackworms. He's got a great video I watched. So Greg Jones, thank you so much. And your update on the growing blackworms, I watched that video too. It was great. So that's what's going on in the fish room. I did have an accident. This happened. I don't know why, but I was turning off the valve, and the whole handle just sheared off right in my hand. So look at that. Look at it. Now I can't turn the water. Fortunately, it broke off in the closed position. So I'm going to have to replace that. I just need to do that maybe in the next few days. So I got a lot of work to refix this, reset tanks, move people around. There's a lot of work in preparation for a vacation. Oh, here we go. I keep a stack. There's my stack. And then I just grab one, replace it, clean one with one that's in there, and the fish don't know the wiser. They just don't know why it's suddenly clean. Jeff Reynolds is in the house. Wow, wonderful. And what else do I have to show you tonight? I don't really have more fish like this. This is breeding program here. Kind of got stymied. Our egg trap is kind of not working right now. I don't know why. It needs some help with the air. So we'll see what happens, what I can do to fix that. But I'm going away, so I think I'll just wait till I get back. I might just clean it out, take it out of the water. Over here, we're going to get our super reds going. They do need caves, and I put one in there yesterday, and somebody's already occupied it. But we've got a lot of super reds, and these super reds I think are getting to the point where they're about ready to breed. I think they should be breeding anyway. They could be. They very much could be. So that's oh, there's a male. Look at there. It doesn't have a cave. So I'm going to line this up with caves and see if we can't get some good activity going, because these fish are easily sold. They're in high demand, and they breed easily. So there's no reason not to have them, you know. No changes here on our 134s. Not that I have checked. I haven't looked today. There's a good number in here, and no activity. I did change the water last night because a storm was brewing in. So hopefully I'm going to keep changing the water. I want to see this tank. It has a lot of decayed leaves in it. That's what that brown stuff is all over the walls. It's pieces of organic matter. It's very good for when you have fry, but we don't have any fry. Maybe one day. We've had them before, so why not? So that's the latest here in the fish room. I did see a question or two. If anybody has any questions for tonight. We have a good number of people connected, so thanks for the thumbs up and everything. Let's see. Wow. Yeah, I want to get some of the val that stays short. That's what I'd really like to grow. Val that only gets, is there one that only gets no higher than 6 inches? That's what I want. I've seen some today. I was looking at it when I was there at the store. It has like corkscrew. I kind of like that look too. That's nice. I'm always afraid to bring in plants, because when you bring in plants, you always bring in more snails, or you know, you could bring in anything. So it has, and I haven't found a really good way to quarantine plants. How do you quarantine plants, or you know, how do you get them going? My tea is cold, but a little Earl Grey, a little cold. So basically, I've got to simplify everything, and so any type of these, all these babies that I have are going to have to be put in a breeder box, and then it's easy to transport them over to the growth center when they're still in the tubs. I will do that probably before I leave, so there will be no fry here to feed. That would be problematic because they need constant care. I just want somebody to come in once a day maybe even every other day, and just put in a small amount. Maybe it's better. I think sometimes it's better if somebody has to make an effort to get to the fish room. It's maybe more difficult to do it every day. But if you did have somebody living in the house and you set out the exact measurements, what I often do is I only give them 1 scoop. This is my 1 scoop. It's an 1/8. So then I'll put on the tank, I'll write on the tank 1 scoop, 2 scoops, 3 scoops, but it's all the same. And I'm going to use the fish food that is this one small pellets. It's almost, you can see it. It's, I don't know if you can really see it well, but yeah, there you go. See that? It's a small enough pellet that every fish can eat it. Even big fish can eat small pellets, but small fish can't eat big pellets, right? So you just go on this little plan to give them 1 scoop, 2 scoops, depending on how many fish. And then once that's written on the outside, it's simple. You just give 2 scoops, 1 scoop every other day or every day. That's it. So that's the plans for. Also, of course, before I leave, I'm also going to be doing water changes. Probably, I'm going to start now, and because I'm a week away, I'm about 10 days or more away. But I want to start really raising the pH and getting the water up to tap water, so that nothing's going to crash while I'm gone because of lack of water changes. Shouldn't be a problem really, especially if I reduce the amount of food. In this community tank, it probably has a lot of fish in it, but they're all small fish. Still, they can live on food every other day, and would reduce the amount of bio load, and then water change is not an issue. So if any of you have had tips, anybody got any other suggestions of what to do when you go away out for an extended vacation, I'm looking forward to seeing one of the places, a couple places. There's the Reef, that's the name of a store in Orange County, and it's funny. It's one of those places when back in the day I was there when I lived there, and I had visited, and I just, for Google, you ever done that? Take a picture for Google of the shop out front. I just took a picture out front. And do you know that picture? I keep getting emails from Google every once in a while. That picture has 3 million views. 3 million views. It's like, wow. Because I guess people, it's on Google. So if you're Googling something, it comes up, as from the Reef in Fullerton. It's in Fullerton, California. And so they think I'm a professional photographer or something. All I did was snap a picture and upload it to Google, and I get all its response. So I need to get tonight. I need to get a little busy. One of the things I need to do is get all the mops ready and get it over to Malik, because he's going to have to hatch out any the mops from the luminatus. I gotta actually take the luminatus over. Those are ready to breed. I don't know. Let me show you how beautiful. I've taken pictures. I've shown you many times, but just look at them. When they see me, they'll come running up. But this little group here, I don't think is really ready to breed. Looks like they're got a little strong on the air. Let me see. Let me reduce it just a tad. That one and this one over here. There we go. Water's going crazy. Here we go. And it's a nice group. There's just one fish in this group that's not a luminatus. It's a solo Danio. You see it there? There it goes. It thinks it's a luminatus. But I didn't have any fish. I'll put it with, now that it's big enough, I'll probably throw it in with the parent glow light Danios. But this group here is ready to breed. I haven't been putting a mop in here, so we'll see. Our little guys up here. Let me see if we can see what's up here. These are easy to feed. Okay, they're getting big. Wow. I don't know if the service, there was about 10 of them in here. I don't see that many right now. Maybe they're in the back. Let's see if I can, oh, there we go. I'm kind of scared of the light. Flashlight works well, but that's, I think there's some Furcatus in there and Luminatus, both. So everybody, while I'm away, the production of the brine shrimp will stop. We won't have that. We won't need that because basically, well, yeah, we won't have any fry here, so everything will come to a stop and wait till I get back. So that's the deal. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining tonight, and it's good to be back together. I do have all this work over here to do. Hi, Jeff. Now you're joining us. So this work I would like to get done before I leave. Get these 4 tanks set up and going so that all the tanks are ready to go. So when I get back, breeding will commence immediately and we'll get back into the swing of things. So Jeff, I'm for those who have joined late and maybe not know, I am on my way to California to spend a few weeks, maybe 4 weeks, almost 4 weeks there with my parents who are in need of some support, some encouragement. And then I'll try to do some live streams out there when I find something of interest. And then get back in mid-January. I'll be back in the fish room and we'll look at it when I get back and see what the status is. That would be kind of nice, to see how I left it, and then of course how it is now. So it's a vacation that I need, and after that, then I can start looking for a new job. I do need a new job. I can start looking after I get back. There's no sense in looking for a job when you're on vacation, and then just to tell people, yeah, I'm looking for a job, but I'm not available. Doesn't make any sense. So mid-January I'll come back and then get some work. In the meantime, there's plenty of work in the fish room to do, and we've already set up a new rack at the grow out center, and 8 more tanks went online yesterday. So I don't know if Aqua Malik has actually shown those to you, but it will be coming, no doubt. Keep your eyes open for the new tank setup. It's down in the basement, and we're going to be using more expansion for the black rams because we're really outputting on black rams. So that's the latest, Jeff, and I will be in touch with you. We've got some other things going on. Longfin Lagoon, it's good to see you too. Looks like the whole gang came around tonight. And at one point we were like 33 people connected. I think it's an all-time high. Well, it seems like it anyway. Maybe not, but did I miss any questions? How about any of the moderators say I missed something? Mollies that love string algae. Now, that's funny you mentioned that because I heard too, oh, yeah, you have blackbeard algae? Oh, you need some rosy barbs. So I got some rosy barbs. They didn't touch the algae. What do you got to do? Starve them to death? Try to get them to eat the algae? But I don't know. Maybe the mollies like that stuff. Jeff Pelham's Aquatics. Yes, we do have gold rams. Plenty of gold rams available at the moment. Yeah, I don't see any questions. Anybody else see any questions that didn't get answered? Okay, great. Well, thank you very much, everyone. It's late on this Friday night, and we've been talking for 50 minutes. I truly do appreciate everything. Also, there will be some interesting developments and probably some videos going on on the on the workings of a new 3D printer. Now, I got a new 3D printer. I don't even know when I'm going to have time to open the box. However, the 3D printer was purchased with the idea there's several things that I want to do, and one of them is, of course, I need to print out, and I'm going to try to do some tubs that will work for young spawns. I also want to develop my own trap, very similar to the design of Blake's Aquatics, very similar. What I need from me though is something a little bigger in size, because, well, it doesn't necessarily have to be so much bigger than the ones we got from Blake's Aquatics, which is what I showed you a moment ago in the Danio tank, the one that needs to be cleaned up. But I want to put together something very similar, but it's going to have a longer tube. I'm going to have to design a longer riser tube, and that tube is going to run in my 90 gallon. So this is just give you an idea. My goal is to put together a type of a spawning mop or spawning place with a tube riser that will suck the eggs out and or babies fry up out of the bottom of the tank and into a overflow or box near the top. And then this particular method is going to be put in with the Mascara barbs. So my goal is not to breed thousands of Mascara barbs, but to breed them in good numbers and to make them available all across Canada. So this is something that, if these are the top quality Mascara barbs, then these are the ones that are going to be making available to everyone. They're such a beautiful fish, and you will definitely enjoy them. You will definitely like seeing them when they get a little bigger and they get a little more color, and I'll be showing all that in videos and things. So we've got a lot to show. Thank you very much, and it was so good to see everybody. Have a great Friday night, and we'll try to pick up maybe some membership videos, some short videos of what's going on in the fish room throughout the week, so you never lose contact. And then also we're going to be getting ready. Of course, there's a lot of work to be done to get things just totally ready for the new the time away. So we'll see you in the next live stream. They would definitely do something. So Sandy Dowdy, yes, I'm hoping I can do some really neat, nifty projects. I know Greg Jones does, and I also know that because I got the plans for the tubs from Lowell's Labs, and yeah, that's the exciting part. Is there's some things I think I'd like to have or printed, and then of course Xanadu. Is that a what is Xanadu? It sounds familiar. Is that for printing? So I think that there's a little, I just don't know. I think it's the next thing to educate. Oh, okay, yeah. 3D printed ramps. There's all kinds of things you can do in 3D printed, but to get the plans, Xanadu is the person. Oh, okay. So we're going to see about what works out best for us in some little egg trap contraptions that I want to use for breeding these fish. Also, I want to use one for the, I want to try using it on the lucipinis. So, Xanadu do. Okay, the person. There we go. He's connected. Yes, thank you. So what we have is an egg trap that's going to be constantly like a cave, like you saw in the lucipinis tank. And they're going to go in, they're going to lay the eggs, but then I want a suction coming out the bottom so that I can just walk up to the tank and see if there's fry and eggs in the contraption. That's what I want to try to do. So the goal here is to make some nifty little things that make life easier, and that's why we're FishEZ in our breeding projects. So we'll see how that works out. It's a lot of things to look forward to, especially for 2024. And now that we have some equipment and things to look at, if you're interested in that journey with me, then we'll try to do that together as well. And I can share what it's all about. First, I need to unbox it, and I haven't even done that yet. So we'll see. I bought the one that was the recommendation from Lowell's Labs. And thank you, Lowell, for all the help. So we'll see where it takes me. Maybe I'm one of these old dogs and can't learn the new tricks, but I'm going to try. I think I could try to learn some new tricks, and that would be one. Thank you, everyone. It's been so great to give you these quick updates tonight, and we'll be seeing you throughout the week, especially as we get busy in the fish room and I have more time. I might even do during the day. Okay, yeah, some of you work, and obviously you'll need to watch the replay, but I might do some live streams during the day when I'm here, just some weird times, just because there's weird things going on, and get it all done. So have a good night, everyone. Thanks for the discussion and the thumbs up. We've had some really nice interplay, or shall we say dialogue going on the chat. So it's been a pleasure, and we're just going to keep it under an hour. So good night, everyone, and most of all, remember this: keep it real.